Imagine waking up to a world painted in gold. The sun crests the horizon, casting its first warm rays over a land teeming with life. This was Job's world. Flocks of sheep and herds of cattle dotted the rolling green hills, more numerous than anyone could count. His home was a symphony of laughter, filled with the joy of his sons and daughters. Servants moved with purpose and respect, a testament to the prosperous and peaceful household he managed. Job, a man of complete integrity, stood at the heart of it all. His days marked by gratitude and righteousness. He was a man who seemingly had everything, a living portrait of blessing and divine favor. Every sunrise was a promise, and every sunset a peaceful close to a day well lived. But beyond the veil of this idyllic world, a different scene unfolds. In a realm unseen by mortal eyes, a tempestuous council convenes. Shadows dance and lightning flickers in a dark, storm-filled courtroom. Voices, powerful and ancient, echo through the celestial chambers. A question hangs heavy in the air, a challenge thrown down like a gauntlet. Does Job's faithfulness depend on his fortune? A debate over one man's soul, his loyalty, his very essence, begins. And with a nod of divine permission, the forces of chaos are unleashed. The stage is set for a trial not of Job's making, a test that will strip him of everything he holds dear. The storm breaks not in the heavens, but on earth, with a sudden, shocking fury. One messenger, breathless and terrified, stumbles before Job, his face a mask of horror. The Sabaeans came, he gasps, and took the oxen and the donkeys, and killed the servants. Before the words fully register, another messenger arrives, his clothes singed. Fire from the sky fell and burned up the sheep and the servants. The blows come relentlessly, one after another. A third messenger, his eyes wide with disbelief, reports. The Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on the camels, carrying them off and killing the servants. Each report is a hammer blow, shattering Job's world piece by piece. Then comes the final, soul-crushing message. A servant, the lone survivor of a great tragedy, falls at Job's feet. Your sons and daughters were feasting, he weeps, when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them, and they are all gone. The sky, once so bright, seems to turn to lead. The sounds of life are replaced by a deafening silence. Job, the prosperous patriarch, the happy father, is now a man stripped bare. His wealth, his livelihood, his children all gone in a single, horrific day. He stands for a moment, a statue of disbelief, before his body gives way. He tears his robe, shaves his head, and falls to his knees, his face pressed into the dust of the very land that once symbolized his prosperity. The physical torment follows the emotional devastation. Job, now covered in painful sores from head to toe, is an outcast. He sits in a pile of ashes, a symbol of his mourning and utter ruin. The man who once sat in the city gates, respected by all, now finds himself on a literal trash heap, scraping his agonizing wounds with a piece of broken pottery. His body, once strong and vibrant, is now a landscape of pain and decay. He is a spectacle of suffering, a living embodiment of human misery. His 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, arrive. They see his condition and are so shocked they can't speak for 7 days and 7 nights. They sit with him in the ashes, a silent vigil of shared grief. But when the silence is finally broken, their words are not of comfort, but of misguided counsel. They look at his suffering and see a simple equation. Great suffering must mean great sin. They implore him to confess the secret wrong he must have committed to deserve such a fate. Their speeches are filled with traditional wisdom and accusations cloaked in concern, but they failed to see the man before them. They misunderstand his integrity and add the weight of false accusation to his already unbearable burden. We see Job's face, a canvas of human emotion. Tears carve paths through the dust and ashes on his cheeks. His eyes, once bright with joy, are now clouded with confusion and deep, soul-wrenching sorrow. He cries out, his voice raw with anguish. Why? He questions the day he was born. He laments his existence. He argues with the injustice of his situation. He challenges the heavens, demanding an audience with God, an explanation for his suffering. His grief is a tempest, raging against the silence of the sky. Yet, even in this maelstrom of pain and doubt, a flicker of something unbreakable remains. Through the confusion, through the anger, through the despair, his faith, though battered and bruised, is not extinguished. He holds on to a desperate belief that his Redeemer lives, that somewhere, somehow, there is a reason and a witness to his innocence. Then, the universe itself seems to respond. A wind begins to stir, not the destructive gale that took his children, but something different. It gathers force, swirling the dust and ashes around Job, building into a mighty whirlwind. The sky darkens, not with the gloom of a storm, but with the awesome, terrifying presence of the divine. Lightning flashes, not as a weapon of destruction, but as a glimpse of raw, untamed, cosmic power. And from the heart of this swirling vortex of cloud and energy, a voice speaks. It is not the comforting whisper Job might have hoped for, but a voice that booms with the power of creation itself. "Where were you," the voice thunders, "when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me, if you understand." God doesn't answer Job's questions about his suffering. Instead, he asks questions of his own. He takes Job on a tour of the cosmos, showing him the wonders of creation. He speaks of the dawn, of the ocean's depths, of the storehouses of snow and hail. He describes the wild beasts of the field, the majestic horse that paws the ground for battle, the great behemoth and the terrifying Leviathan. The visuals are surreal, awe-inspiring. We see galaxies swirling, stars being born, and creatures of unimaginable power moving through the deep. God reveals his sheer, uncontainable majesty, the vastness of his wisdom and power, far beyond human comprehension. Job listens, his complaints and arguments dissolving in the face of this overwhelming display. He is no longer defiant, but humbled. He sees his own smallness, his own limited understanding, in the context of an infinitely complex and powerful creator. He covers his mouth with his hand, silenced not by a rebuke, but by revelation. He is overwhelmed, brought to his knees once more, but this time not in despair, but in awe. He realizes he has been speaking of things he did not understand, things too wonderful for him to know. And in this moment of profound humility, a new kind of understanding dawns. He doesn't get an answer to his why, but he gets something far more profound. He gets God. The presence of the divine, once so distant and silent, is now immediate and personal. And in that presence, he finds a strange and unexpected comfort. The whirlwind subsides, the cosmic display fades, and as the dust settles, a new light breaks over the horizon. It's a brighter dawn, warmer and more brilliant than any Job has seen before. The sunlight touches his skin, and we see the sores are gone. His health is renewed, his body restored. The ashes have been washed away, and he stands tall once more. And the blessings return, not just as they were, but overflowing. The landscape, once a symbol of his loss, is now vibrant and more fruitful than ever. He is blessed with twice as much as he had before. 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. A new family fills his home. He is given 7 more sons and 3 more daughters. and they are said to be the most beautiful in all the land. The sounds of laughter and joy return, deeper and more meaningful than before. Job lives to a ripe old age, seeing his children and their children to the fourth generation. The final image is one of profound peace. Job, surrounded by his loving family, looks out over a land bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. His face is no longer a mask of suffering, but one of serene wisdom and deep, quiet joy. His story, which began in blessing and descended into the darkest abyss, ends not just in restoration, but in a deeper understanding of faith. A hope that endures through the storm and finds its ultimate peace in the presence of the Creator. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of faith in the human spirit.